Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Show, the one and the only Big Show, Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we are happy to have you with us today. I have one and only, the one and only Mr. Al Connickson on the show here once again. Al, how you doing today?
You know what, Josh? I feel really good. How about you?
I'm feeling good. You looking good, and it's a beautiful, beautiful holiday weekend here. And, we'll call it an early holiday weekend. Some people like to celebrate a little bit early. But there's a lot of celebrating in the financial markets this week as well because the markets are open. The markets are moving, and they are showing opportunities. And that's what we're going to talk about here on the show here today is opportunities in the markets, whether it's going up, which everybody knows. Everybody knows it goes up. There's benefits there. But what a lot of people just don't know is that there are benefits as the markets go down. And we're going to talk about that here today as far as different techniques and strategies, whether you're in a trading account, regular retail account, or a retirement account, how to have a strategy for both directions. As always, our sponsor on their 26th year, actually over 26 years, teaching people just like you how to trade and invest. They have content on, as I mentioned earlier, income strategies, wealth strategies, 401k, IRA, whatever that soup du jour is. Online Trading Academy teaches you how to do that and how to do that safely with some confidence. So, Al, we had obviously some nice moves in the markets. Just a quick little recap on the market for our podcast listeners. Sorry you can't see this. By the way, to listen to the podcast, just go to Investing and Trading Live, anywhere you listen to podcasts. But on the YouTube Live right now, a recap on the market. Let's talk about the SPY real quick. As of the recording of the show here today, we're doing it live. 434.91 per share on the S&P 500 ETF. The Dow ETF roughly at about 338.18, and the Qs, which is the QQQ, the Nasdaq ETF, 363.09 per share. So we're seeing some great moves in the markets. They're coming off a supply zone, as we've been talking about, Al, for several days now, or we identified this a while back on the show. We could probably go look at the archives, and we're coming off that supply zone, but it is coming down to a demand zone. So we'll see if this supply has overtaken demand and we start to see a downtrend in the market, which we've started seeing here since it hit that supply right around June 15th. So that being said, we had some news this week. There was a bill signed about chips in China and stuff like that. Nvidia gapped down on Wednesday. The same thing with AMD. Al, you're seeing some great moves as well. What are some opportunities that you're seeing in the markets right now?
Well, there's a lot of opportunities, Josh. The key is being able to identify where they are and when is the right time to take advantage of them. You know, we're seeing a lot of things happening right now that are kind of confusing people because we've got the Fed basically saying that there's more pain to come. Over the last few weeks, we've seen kind of a euphoric move in the market based on the fact that the Fed paused and didn't raise interest rates at their last meeting. Well, they're telling us that they're going to raise interest rates again and maybe not cut for another couple of years. Yet the market is disregarding that and saying, you're, as I mentioned last week, you're not telling us the truth, Fed. You're kidding us. You're joking around, pulling our leg.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but the Fed doesn't do that. So if the Fed is right and they're going to raise interest rates, are you ready to make moves based on that? And if they don't, if they hold steady or they cut interest rates, are you ready? Are you prepared to be able to take advantage of it?
When is the best time to get ready for that?
Well, it's yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay, that's gone. What's the next best?
Today is the next best time to be ready. We talk often about how the time to prepare is before things happen, because once they happen, it's like I've used this analogy before. If you're going to take up skydiving, you don't jump out of the plane, then turn back up and go, oh, hand me my parachute. Mm-hmm. It's too late. You have to be prepared for whatever is happening. And we see these big moves in the market. We're in this, really, it's a trader's market. We have big moves up. We have the big moves down. And one of the things people are concerned about now is have stocks run up too fast? Are they ready for a pullback? Or do they have more upside run coming, and then people are going to be afraid of missing out? So there's a lot of confusion. What do you do? People don't know, so they guess. And that's the worst thing you can do. If you try to predict by guessing which direction the market is going to go or what should happen based on something you see or you listen to, you're probably going to be wrong. Unless you have billions of dollars to invest or trillions of dollars to invest, you're not going to be able to move the market. You're not going to be able to have an impact on it, but somebody does, because there are people out there that have billions of dollars to invest. Those are the Wall Street pros, what we call the smart money. Those are the people that can move the price of something. They control price. So if you could track what they're doing, just track their movement, wouldn't you be able to benefit from what they're doing? Because the most important thing is the movement of price. If you buy something, you want price to go up. If you sell something, you expect price to go down. And that happens because of a law of finance called supply and demand. You mentioned supply zones and demand zones. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing for a trader or investor to be able to do, is identify. A demand zone is simply where there could be billions of dollars worth of buy orders ready to become active. A supply zone is the opposite. There could be billions of dollars worth of sell orders ready to become active. If you could identify where those zones are, you could be prepared so you have a profit regardless of which direction the market is going. Don't guess on it. Look at facts. Look at the facts that actually impact the price of something, and then act based on those facts.
I like how you mentioned that, is to be able to do that ahead of time so you can be prepared no matter which way this market goes. So that way, in tracking the institutions, where you do that is on a price chart. And that's what we talk a lot about in these investing classes that we do here locally. But it's a price chart where you get data. Basically, it's what's happened with price. It can't lie. It's priced within a certain amount of time. And that's where you identify those supply and demand zones, which is where institutions could be sitting there buying or selling. That way you're prepared for when it gets down or up to one of those zones, and trade with those institutions, not against them. Because we know the institutions, the banks, they are always consistently profitable. The public typically struggles. Why? Because they are doing a different strategy. You need to trade like them, and that's where our strategy comes from. It comes from the floors of the exchanges, New York Stock Exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. We have, 40, 50, 60 instructors that are training our students how that actually works and how supply and demand works in the financial markets. We're going to illustrate that to you in these investing classes that we do here locally. Text right now for 2 seats for a free class to see supply and demand, institutional order flow, how that actually works and functions on a price chart so you can make smart investing decisions. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210. When you do that, you're going to get a text right back. It's going to say, welcome to Investing and Trading Live, and a link so you can pick your own date. Text investing to the number 210-210. Al, coming up next, let's talk about some income strategies of the markets, some of the opportunities that we do see moving forward here. If their interest rates are raised or stays the same, it doesn't really matter. It's just having that plan. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.